Smokey, what are we doing? Did you eat a bird? You're not gonna be able to get under there much longer. What's up, guys? Chad here, Adler Farms.
Case here, Adler Farms.
What's your name?
Case here.
Case here.
No, Case.
This video, it's not really morning. It's 1:45. So it's not evening, it's not morning. It's right smack in the middle. And we've got some trees to plant. So here's the cool part. We want to say a special thank you to Stark Brothers. I reached out to them because we follow Kaylee over at the Honeystead.
Kaylee from the Honeystead.
Kaylee, Chad and Case here, Adler Farms.
What's up? Oh, hey Chad, hey Case. How's it going?
And we worked with her. We met her over the Sunflower Showdown, and I'll tag that video so you can watch that. It's pretty entertaining and pretty funny. But we learned about Stark Brothers through Kaylee, and they're actually in Missouri as well. Stark Brothers is. When we were looking at trees a few weeks ago, you're right there? Mm-hmm. When we were looking at trees a few weeks ago and trying to decide if we wanted to bring some of the cedars from the back of the property up here, I thought, we really need to talk to somebody that knows more about this, because we also wanted to add some color to the farm, not just evergreens. And we wanted to make sure we were getting trees that could handle very cold temps that we sometimes get in the winter. So I reached out to Stark Brothers. I said, hey guys, here's what we got going on. And they said, we'd be happy to send you a couple of trees. What if we sent one for each boy? And I said, man, that'd be awesome. And we'll get the boys to plant them and whatnot. So we got on there and we looked around and we found a couple of trees. I'll let the boys tell you what they are, but I found a couple of awesome trees that we're really excited about. We're gonna take you guys around this afternoon and pick out where we wanna plant Case's and Adler's tree. Adler's gonna point and laugh and giggle, and that'll mean I wanna do it here. So we'll dig him a hole and get his tree in the ground.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's walk around and see what we can find.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea where you want yours?
Kinda.
Ish?
Yeah.
All right, so without cheating, don't skip ahead. But what tree do you think Case picked? Don't. Now he's gonna walk around, he's gonna look for a spot. Right now we're in the front yard. And he's gonna look for a spot where he wants to plant his tree. So, you know how tall it gets and all that? Do you wanna run and grab your information card on it? Mm-hmm. All right, don't let us see it. All right, well, he's doing that. The really cool thing about Stark Brothers, when you go to their website, which certainly helped a beginner like me, like us, is when you go to their website, you can actually plug in your planting zone, which means that's the best time for you to plant something. You can figure out what grows in your area the best, and what's going to thrive and do well. I don't believe a palm tree would do very well in Southwest Missouri, so that's not going to pop up in our planting zone in 6B. But that's really cool because with as many trees as they have, you don't want to find one you really like only to learn that it doesn't grow well in your area. So it's really nice to be able to sort and search by that criteria. So it's very cool. That's the longest one I've heard. That was impressive. Jack has some pipes. I'll give that to him. But Stark Brothers, you're welcome for that one. Courtesy of Jack. Give him just a little bit of a clue. Don't say the name though, but how tall does your tree get?
The mature size is 45 to 50 feet tall.
Okay. Did it say how wide it gets?
We recommend spacing these trees 35 to 45 or 40 apart to ensure room for growth.
All right, so you got to have them at least 35 to 40
like,
feet apart.
35 by 40.
And it can be almost 40 feet wide. So that's a huge tree, real big.
Tree.
So, and the other thing you have to consider is we're on a septic tank. So we've got some lines in the backyard that we don't want our trees' roots growing into one of these. The power lines, our power lines are about 30 feet in the air. So we don't want to plant this tree. Personally, I wouldn't plant any tree just because you never really know unless it's clearly marked dwarf. But you really don't want to plant any trees under power lines because ultimately something's going to have to be either trimmed. God bless you. Something's either going to have to be trimmed or what have you at some point. We also have to decide for us, our front yard is pretty small. The house is all the way up at the front. I say small, our house sits on like a half acre.
Oh my goodness, again.
Bless you. Bless you. But we have to decide where we want the tree to be because it's very, very pretty. Are we going to want to sit on the back porch and watch and look at it? Do we want it out the front room so we can see it every day? You know, that kind of thing. So what do you think? Do you want to be able to see it when you look out the front windows or the back? Like when you look out the kitchen, do you want to see it? Or
I think we should, like, when we look out the living room.
When you look out the front room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're talking about like right up there somewhere?
Yeah.
So for total transparency, it's my tallest best friend right here. You know what transparency is?
Mm-hmm.
Of course you do. Very smart. Mm-hmm. He wanted to try and put it in the front yard somewhere, but through my journey of working and talking with you guys, our front yard's already kind of crowded to an extent. So what we figured, we're actually in the backyard more. There's no front porch, there's no front door, because the door actually comes out the side of the house, like a ranch style. But we're gonna put it in the backyard, right? That's where you want it?
Yeah, because like that way everyone can see the tree, like me.
Well, and like when we're outside with Smokey and the animals and hanging out, we're in the backyard.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to be able to see it more.
We want to see the big, beautiful tree.
Right. Like when we're in the front room, there's a TV in there. The windows are a little bit higher than normal. They're not low windows. So we won't be able to really see the tree for quite a while. So the backyard's actually best. But it's a great shade tree.
Yeah.
And it'll also throw some shade for us on the house one of these days. So, because right now...
And the big boys.
And the beefy boys. Because right now is hot.
Probably doesn't make sense because I'm, wearing a jacket. But that's because it's morning time and I woke up with a runny nose. So I get whatever.
It's morning time, guys.
Yeah.
It's straight up 12 noon.
Yeah.
In the morning.
This is morning.
If you're homeschooled. All right, let's go find a spot in the backyard. If we plant it on that side of the fence, and we'll zoom out and show you guys here in a minute. If we plant it on that side of the fence from the new cow pasture, it's going to run into the garden-ish, the future spot of the garden. And we really don't want to do that too much. So if we plant it over here, it's 30 feet inside the fence. So it's got plenty of room for its root base to grow. It'll also add structure. It'll also add a good source of shade for the cows eventually. And to protect it, when the cows are in here early, we're going to put, I may actually even cement 4 posts in and put some cattle panels around it so they can't get into it at all. And should be good. Put a strip of barbed wire around it. I've even got a hot wire we can add to it, but I'll make sure it's protected. But that aside, I think it's going to go right there.
Ta-da.
So it hasn't rained for a month. So I'm going to help Case dig this hole. It may actually be 5 weeks, but the ground is rock hard. It's like a dust bowl, even though this is good soil and good dirt. And whether I get it in the video or not, I bought some planting soil. I bought some soil recommended by Stark Brothers and like what they tell you to use. And we're also going to use our natural fertilizer that we've got for free, which is our rabbit poop. Because in case you didn't know, rabbit poop is great fertilizer. And no matter how much you use, you can't burn up your plants or your trees for this matter. So let's do it. So here's what's nice too, and I know you probably can't make this out on camera, but Stark Brothers has, whoop, almost took a dive there. Stark Brothers has a real nice like characteristics of the tree that you're going to plant and when you should plant it, the best time to plant it, the soil composition, zone compatibility, all that stuff. It's perfect for our hardiness growing zone.
Just everything.
Yeah.
Everything you need right there.
This is a very robust tree. It does need good water runoff. Like I don't believe this tree wants to be in water. It doesn't need to be in saturated ground. So where we're planting it right here, it's a natural slope. I know the camera flattens us out, but you guys are actually above us. The tripod's on the lowest setting. I know I'm squatting down, but the whole ground slopes that way. That's the way it was designed before this road ever went in. This was all farmland, and it was all the water runs that way. That's where our pond's gonna be. That's where the creek's at, all that good stuff. So this is a perfect spot. But they've also got some helpful things like your tree prep, fertilizer, Stark tree guards. That's probably to protect it from like weed eating and whatnot, depending on the tree and where you plant it. Throw some rabbit dung in that hole.
Rabbit fertilizer.
And then we're going to set that tree and give her some water. And what's nice too is it's only about, it's a good couple 100 feet from the water spigot, but we've got plenty of hose that we can run over here. So fertilizer, give it a good start, and I'll put some underneath it too, or on top of it, I should say. They send them in these pretty cool, handy, easy plant kits. We see her, Bubba.
A whole lot of dirt.
You say Jack Jack? Jack Jack?
Adler! Check it! What's up?
I'm right here. You come pet him? Yeah, he'll get you.
So Adler seems to be a little more occupied with Jack Jack. I planted a red sunset maple back in the cow pasture. It's a great shade tree. And we know it's going to provide great shade for the cows and the house. Very robust tree. But this purple robe locust sometimes can be a little bit finicky. The other option's back where we were going to have the garden. So we don't want the locust back there. Don't fall in.
Good job. Good job. This tree behind us here, right here, guys, I'm not a huge fan of it. It's got roots that are coming up out of the ground and I'm having to mow around them and whatnot. And that's a good job. So anyway, That tree will probably come out at some point, but right here is a big area. It's like 40 by 50 all around us. This locust tree can get as big as it wants. Love Jack. You know, it is Adler Farms. I mean, do we need a donkey? We have 2 companions, some beefy ones.
Alright, can you hold the tree?
Yep.
Okay, let's plant some dirt around
So
it.
guys, what we learned is we want the tree to be about an inch above the ground around it, and then we'll build a water basin around that. Good job, Bubba. Look out, dirt flying.
Let's go. Let's dump this water.
Real slow. Here, come here. Loves it. He loves water. All right, guys. So I'm gonna have to keep doing this so someone stays entertained. But we sincerely appreciate Stark Brothers for sending over those trees. Again, that was a sunset maple.
Yes.
And a purple robe locust. They're gonna add a ton of color to the farm. And it's almost nap time. But you just let him run. Good job. He's going for the water. We're gonna do our best to say deuces.
Yep.
It's probably not gonna happen for this one.
Deuces.
All right, say see you guys later.
See you guys later.
Say deuces. Deuces. That was deuce. That was deuce. See y'all later.
See ya.